Comrade Mangwana. The reason why he is here is that
Former legal secretary.
former legal secretary, who is one of our lawyers, a lawyer from ZANU PF. He was the chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee, COPAC, which wrote the Zimbabwe Constitution. Certain aspersions, certain misrepresentations have been made about the Zimbabwe Constitution, with some trying to claim that they are the authors of that constitution. The real author of that constitution is the Parliament of Zimbabwe. It is the one which writes constitutions. Any work of the collective individuals who were part of COPAC was only in a fiduciary role. It was on behalf of Parliament. And ultimately, it was Parliament which took the responsibility of that constitution. And it is Parliament which decided to have a referendum on the passage of that constitution. So this grandstanding by the opposition figures trying to claim to be the authors or the sole authors of the constitution needs address. So that is the reason why I brought Comrade Mangwana. He will say a few, some remarks, and he will entertain questions from you about this aspect. Obviously, the issue of the Gazette, it's a matter which is now before Parliament. It is being handled by the Minister of Justice and also by the Speaker of Parliament. So certain questions he may not answer on behalf of those two institutions which are the point entities for the current drive to amend certain sections of the Constitution. So he may not, he may refrain from answering questions which are not directly related to his illegal position in the party as a lawyer of the party. But we brought him because he was the chairperson of COPAC. Comrade Mangwana, if you can just...
Yes, thank you, Comrade Mchangwa.
You can... microphones.
I'm now I'm currently the Secretary for Mines and Energy in ZANU PF. But it is correct, historically, I co-chaired the constitution-making process and took part in writing this current constitution. A constitution is a living document. It provides for mechanisms for its own amendment. So the most important thing is to check as to whether any proposed amendments are in line with the provisions of that constitution. I've listened to the debate which is going on publicly, and my position is very clear. The proposed amendment to this constitution is in line with the constitution itself. The constitution provides that whenever the people of Zimbabwe, through their parliament, deem it fit to amend the constitution, they can do so. There are only 3 provisions in this constitution which require a referendum for an amendment. The Bill of Rights is one of those provisions. The land provisions cannot be amended without a referendum. Any other provision of this constitution can be amended through a 2/3 majority of Parliament. And we were very clear when we wrote this constitution to say which areas do we want protected from amendment by Parliament. So when a law specifies areas which are preserved for amendment, it means that any other parts of the Constitution which have not been protected can be amended by Parliament using 2/3 majority. And from my reading the proposed amendments do not require a referendum. And I must emphasize, these proposed amendments do not require a referendum. The Constitution is very clear. I thought I should just make that very clear from the outset.
Oh, okay. I think you have heard it for yourself, because there is a clamor from the usual detractors of ZANU PF who wants to say that we are abrogating certain sections of the Constitution. It's not true. And there are some even who are trying to take an issue with the extension of the presidential term limit. There are several countries in the world.
Let me also make it clear that the amendments simply, the law says a term limit is a period of more than 3 years, and the proposed amendment extends or increases by another 2 years. It does not fall foul of the provisions of this Constitution. If you want to amend for 3 years, that's when you require a referendum. If it's an amendment by a period of 2 years, you are not putting in a new term, so to say. This is why we specifically made that provision in this Constitution. So in other words, if you are extending by a period which is less than 3 years, you have not increased by another term. The Constitution says so in very clear terms. I thought I should clear that.
I think, well, he has taken the words out of my mouth. I just want to say on the global stage, the issue of term limits for president varies country by country. Some are 5 years, but others like Italy, 7 years, because they feel that the president needs to be given enough time to carry out the mandate which he may have got from the electorate, so that he can have sufficient time to execute all the policies and deliver on the programs of the president. I've just mentioned Italy, for example. I think, also there are other countries without term limits. Angela Merkel in Germany, she ruled ad infinitum for ages because the Germans liked her. So let's not make it like there is sacrosanct canons about certain term limits which are coming from somewhere other from the gods. No. Constitutions, as he has indicated, they are live documents. They are subject to the wishes of the people at a certain stage of the development of their country. People cannot be manacled to a constitution. It's not the purpose of a constitution to manacle the electorate or the people of a certain country. If they feel that certain amendments can be made, so be it. And that's what exactly ZANU PF is doing. I emphasize once again, there's complete gratification about the work of President E.D. Mnangagwa and his Second Republic. He has hardly been in power for 6 years, hardly. But this country has changed completely changed in those 6 years. He's a man who has put his shoulders to the wheel and is making sure that Zimbabwe progresses. So there's general satisfaction about the worksheet of the president. There is. And the people of Zimbabwe are saying, the man is doing a good job. Let's have more of him. Let him be given a chance. He's alert. You saw him in Dubai answering questions at a global stage. The answers just came like that, contrary to those who were trying to purvey the false narrative of creeping senility or other health